Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So, Dokkan recently was like, hey everyone, guess what? We are synced. Everything is coming out on both versions at the same time from now on, which is good. Huge monster W by Dokkan to finally do this. But, while it is great that they did do that, and, you know, they did in fact do that, Global has not yet gotten everything, right? So everything that is on JP at the moment is not on Global. So what I wanted to do quickly was I did just want to go over the last couple of things that Global still does not have. Now, I don't know where all of this is coming in. I've got no clue. Because people will say, like, oh, like, they'll put it in, like, this spot where it usually is and stuff like that. But remember, there isn't, like, missing spots upcoming. Like, Global is going to have the same schedule as JP. So, you know, we should be getting a Dokkan Fest. Well, we know we're getting a Dokkan Fest on the 2nd, right? And then Daima is on the 11th. I would not be shocked if we got a banner there. Maybe like a Dokkan Fest mini Goku instead of the Part 2 LR or something like that. There could be a Part 2 LR in here, depending upon what Daima's like. There typically is like a Halloween Dokkan Fest, so probably on the 31st or the 30th of October, we'd get a Dokkan Fest. November is usually where things, I guess, are pretty quiet, because we usually get the October 31st Dokkan Fest, and then the Heroes banner is like the 21st or something like that. So we're talking almost a 3-week span with no banners. That, I guess, is where maybe there's essentially 3 missing banners for Global. Only 2 of them really matter, though, I would argue. We'll go over them. Well, I guess there's actually 4. But I would still probably say only 2 of them matter. One of them is the Tanabata banner itself, which is the return of Beast Gohan and Broly. It doesn't really matter for Global, though, because those characters return during anniversary anyway, which the normal, like, spot for that Tanabata banner on Global is Christmas. Like, Christmas? Literally 1 month after his 10th anniversary anyway. Like, that's not the biggest deal, right? I think Jiren and Roshi are more interested. So, maybe sometime in here, like, right before Heroes for Global, is when, like, maybe Jiren or Roshi and Kaket and Mai and those characters could show up. Because remember, then we'd have a Dokkan Fest right around the 1st, and then we have a Carnival banner kind of sometime in these 2-week period. The Carnival banner might be like the 19th or the 18th of December, something like that. And then remember, we have a dual Dokkan Fest at the end of December. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there isn't really time to slide in a lot of this extra stuff. So let's go through. Now, a lot of this campaign was poached and is already on Global, but there's things that are not on Global in here, including this. What are they going to do about this? I don't know. Are they really just going to drop, like, Purunga Dragon Balls over, like, a 30-day span upcoming? I mean, the Purunga stuff, I mean, it's pretty big. That's a lot of rewards. So, we'll see when this Purunga campaign. There was 3 sets of Dragon Balls during the Tanabata celebration for JP. So, we'll see what that's going to look like. Then we have a Double Rates banner right here. Now, this obviously is something that Global does not yet have, including Jiren. Jiren is probably one of the more underrated characters in the game. Just judging by the way people talk about him, people act as though Jiren is just not very impressive, doesn't really do that much, which I think is silly, because Jiren has one of these ridiculous standbys where Jiren is invincible. And not like invincible with quotations like a lot of characters. No, he's literally invincible. 100% damage reduction. Bosses exist in this game now that super for 900 million. Beast throws up his active, and he gets supered for the damage cap, basically, right? Like, he takes 99 million damage, Beast, with his active up from those bosses. Jiren takes double digits, because he has 100% damage reduction. So, it's like, that is really powerful. Now, it is a standby, though. And here's the thing with standby characters and domain characters. The clock is always ticking for domain and standby characters. Because once the next strongest domain on that team or the next strongest standby on that team comes out, you know, you get a little bit less valuable. We see that with Goku, Gohan, and Trunks, right? Like I'm the standby I always want to go to is the Family Kamehameha, not Goku, Gohan, and Trunks' standby. So that's what can hurt Jiren, because him being incredible is right here. I don't even really factor in full power as much. You go into full power and he could drop like 50 million attack stats. He does have a Scouter turn 1 and stuff like that. But he's like a slot 2 and slot 3 character for the most part. So it's like you go from in a standby being ridiculously tanky 100% damage reduction slot 1 to just like kind of your traditional damage dealer, stuff like that. I maintain always with these characters that the ability to have defense on this level is far more important than whatever else the character's doing. But Jiren is definitely pretty good. I mean, if this banner drops as is, I will be screaming into this microphone, skip, global players. Skippity skip that shit. These EZAs are on global. This EZA is not on global, and this EZA is on global. So global did not get this sub EZA section right here. Oh, we'll talk about this in 2 seconds. Oh, and then there's them. We'll talk about them in 2 seconds as well. All right, so you have this Piccolo. The thing about all 4 of these characters is, and then this is, yeah, okay. These sub EZA characters they're very good. These are very good characters. But the thing is that they're all kind of restricted to Reps of Universe 7. So they're really, really good, but it's hard to even get them on the team. Because it's not like, you know, that the Universe 7 Tournament of Power team is filled with summonable characters. Recent summonable characters. You do have Tech UI Goku, of course, maybe AGL Jiren, maybe Topo if you want to run him. But it's like AGL UI in Evolution Blue Vegeta, Physical Blue Kaioken Goku in Evolution Blue Vegeta. Those are, that's a 2020 Dokkan Fest LR and 2 2021 Dokkan Fest LRs. Like, these are guys that have been around forever. And, I mean, those are all Dokkan Fest LRs who would have been on so many big banners that players would have summoned on. So, that's the thing. Like, these sub-EZAs can be so good. I'm just going to move this here so I have the... These sub-EZAs are so good because it's difficult to run them because there's no spots for them on the team. Right? Like, that's why they made them so good. I don't really have a problem with that, though, because they are just... Like, it's exactly as I said. Like, all 4 of these, I think, are really good. But it's tough to run them. Now, I do like to say that, I mean, if you really enjoy the game, if you're playing the game, if you're having a lot of fun with the game, you are going to want to use different characters here and there. Like, you're not going to want to just run the same 6 every single time. And all 4 of these characters can be good. I mean, Skinny Boo with his high dodge and damage reduction abilities, right? 18 can be plus 2 million defense with damage reduction, right? Like, she's huge. And then, you know, start a turn 2 million defense or whatever, and then you get hit for this. It's ridiculous. This guy is probably the worst of the 4. And then I do like Piccolo as this, you know, tournament participant support type character, who's pretty good right there. So there's those. Again, Tech Jiren is already out. The 17 burst mode, if I remember correctly, is on global already. The Tanabata Dokkan Fest. I did not pull this up. Let me quickly pull this up. All right, here we go. So here is the Tanabata Dokkan Fest banner. Now, you know, it's got a lot of great characters, right? Look at this. Like, a lot of very strong characters right now. But, I mean, I just outright think it's silly to summon on this. If this shows up, they could just skip this banner. If this shows up on global, I think you have to skip it. You have to skip it. Because, again, Beast and Broly are going to be on the 10th anniversary banners. Tech UI Goku, I don't know that I see them bringing this banner out, like, on Christmas, and then Tech UI Goku's on there. Because Tech UI Goku's return is going to be Saiyan Day, March 18th. On Global and JP, he will be on the Saiyan Day banner, March 18th. And we know these 2 will be on the 10th anniversary Dokkan Fest. Maybe, you know, it's a dual Dokkan Fest at the end of January. Maybe there's a Dokkan Fest at the end of January and one in the middle of February. We'll see. But, I mean, you just don't want to put stones into this when the 10th anniversary is what you're going to want to go with. Global players, remember, you guys are now getting anniversary at the start of the year. The anniversary characters every year dominate the entire year. It's It's just as simple as that. Every year, they're dominating the year. This is the year where every character has been good, practically, to where it's like, you know, like Broly and Gogeta are, you know, I wouldn't even rank them as top 10 LRs, but they're still super good. The 12th best LR this year is like 3 on any other given year, just to give you guys like a comparison. So it's like, while, you know, again, Broly's not top 10, he's still very powerful and very runnable. So it's like you're as a gold player, you're going to want to make sure you get those 10th anniversary headliners, because they're going to be good all year long, like always. Then a lot of this stuff here, these have always been a JP exclusive thing. Don't worry, the only reward from this was just Elder Kai's. So the missions are fun, but the rewards are not exactly something that like Global's missing out on or anything like that. And then the rest of this stuff is stuff I believe Global's already got. Oh, except for this. Yeah. Okay. So this is big time. Do not ask me what Amatsu was thinking. That knucklehead. The dumbass thought it was a good idea to drop the event up to stage 4, but then not drop stage 5 and stage 6 on Global. Stage 5 is mostly irrelevant. I like it as a good showcase stage a lot of times, because there's a boss that super attacks, and like Tech UI Goku in this fight only super attacks in slot 2. So it's a good test, like, against that boss. But the Goku and Frieza fight is probably the hardest fight in the game. Now, there are missions here. So there's a mission to beat Goku and Frieza with 4 Universe 11. That's very tough. And then beat Stage 6 with 4 Accelerated Battle category characters. This is probably the hardest fight in the game, unless... now, I mean, I'll let you guys decide. You could call this the hardest fight in the game, or you could call the hardest fight in the game the fight that I lose to way more often. It's up to y'all. You guys can decide. You guys can decide. Okay, so let's go over why this fight is so toxic. This is very annoying. They are pathetically weak, and that's what adds to the difficulty of this fight. This boss is pathetic. They die in like 3 hits. Oftentimes, so this is a huge thing where I talk about how it's impossible to get Evolution Blue Vegeta's revive. And like some global player comes in and goes, oh, skill issue. I get it all the time. Even when Vegeta starts out turn 1 against this fight, oftentimes you kill this boss before they are even able to get all their attacks. Let's say you're running 9th anniversary Gogeta, and he's in slot 3 because you want to float him off to get to his active quickly. Very good chance Gogeta doesn't even get to do his 18-key super attack in slot 3 to get the stack in. This adds to the difficulty of this fight, because this is a phase designed around your characters not getting whatever buildup they have. Getting hit, supering, attacking, all that shit. Because this boss is such fodder and dies quickly. Then 17 locks 100% of the time. So whoever starts out in turn 4, whoever starts out in slot 4, whoever starts out in slot 7, can just be insta-killed with 0 counterplay to this Android 17. He doesn't start out too crazy, 1.6 plus this 10% attack, but every turn he gets a little bit stronger. Then you move on to 17 and Golden Frieza, who are basically running out of the gate with a 3 million super, right? And then every single turn they get harder. I have said many times, this is, outside of AoE Broly 7th anniversary Red Zone movie boss character, this is the phase that has killed me the most, like, ever of all these fights, is the 17 and Golden Frieza. Because they dodge cancel. They cancel dodge. And they're doing 3 million. And it's like, it's just, you have to respect this phase. So, it's like, you're coming in here with, like, 9th anniversary Gogeta and shit like that, and he could just be killed. And, like, people would say, oh, but you just use Tech UI Goku. That's true. If you get to here, and it's turn 5, and you got the domain up, you're good. But, I mean, if, you can't transform into Tech UI Goku, and they just kill you, right? We've had so many runs lose off of, like, blue Gogetas in slot 3, and then they just super in slot 3, and we get insta-killed, right? Like, it's, this boss is crazy. They're just ridiculous. They're ridiculous. They hit so hard with dodge canceling. It's very frustrating. And then this boss, right? when they're under 50% HP, it is a true their attack doubles. Multiply this by 2, multiply that by 2 when they're under 50% HP. So it's like, you can't really tank like the 5.6 plus million super attacks. It needs to be shit like Jiren or one of these crazy standbys or something like that. Like Beast Gohan, if like Gamma 1 support is up, he had supered the previous turn and stuff like that, Beast can tank it. But there's a huge kind of like split right now where a lot of people think that Beast is like untouchable, and he is still like a legendary defensive character, but it's not as simple anymore as just popping his active skill and you're good. Because this fight, this is deep enough in the fight that Beast Gohan's intro is off, and they could kill him through his active. They hit that hard. The one thing about this boss, they always, 100% of the time, they super attack before you attack. I have literally never even once seen one run where they don't super attack before you attack. It's a 100% chance. They always do. Again, I've literally never seen it. The Beast Gohan fight, boss in Supreme Magnificent Battle is structured very close to this, right? Because he also has a damage threshold. He also, only supers in slot 1. But that Beast Gohan sometimes doesn't super, right? This boss, 100% of the time supers. And so it's very scary. But at the same time, they always only super in slot 1, so you know that. So that it's like, it is challenging, but that your, slot 2 character's never getting supered. Not happening. So you could play around that. What makes the fight overall so difficult is it's not any one phase. It's all of it combined. Locking into dodge canceling into a 5 million super. And you have to do 10 million damage or you do 0. To give you guys kind of a ballpark, you have to be at about a 15 million attack stat with crit to damage them. So you have to have a 15 million attack stat, and it's got to be a crit, unless you're an AGL character. So it's a tough fight. Now, uncontrollable power can walk in here, dominate. Both the Family Kamehameha and in Broly were really designed around this fight, in my opinion. So those teams will win effortlessly, but you still have to respect the fight. Come in here with pre-worldwide characters, and you'll see. This fight is challenging for sure. All right, so there's that. And again, that most. Oh, dude, I forgot about this too. Yeah, damn, holy shit. Okay, so there's also these free-to-play characters: Hit, Cyanel, and Piranha, and then Champa. I mean, Champa is just kind of like a RNG factory right there. There's not really too much to talk about with Champa. Same with these guys. I mean, this is the only Salanel and Piranha in the game, but I mean, they're not, super crazy. And it's like, dude, like full Namekian or full Universe 6, like, come on. Right? Nothing crazy there. This one, though, I am a little bummed that they did not drop this on Global, because this guy's pretty good as a free-to-play character. He's actually really nice. And he's a Legendary Existence character, right? For this. The Legendary Existence mission against this fight right here, like, when I did that mission, I had this hit on my team. I was using this guy. I've got everything rainbowed and shit. And I was using this free-to-play character for my mission. So I'm not really too sure why, like, they are waiting with these free-to-play characters. I don't get it. This guy's good, because, again, he dodges and then he counters, like Tech UI Goku. He's pretty good. I like this hit. This is an example of a good free-to-play character. So there's that. And then let me pull up the God event. Yep. All right, so what the God event gets is 3 new stages, and then a mission to beat all the new stages, which does buff the Zeno's Welcome Words support memory, so it's even stronger, support buff to buff your characters, your Universal Survival Saga characters. Nice support memory. These stages aren't really too challenging, and, I mean, even with, again, the new Worldwide Download Celebration characters, even though it's a 4-phase fight, they just aren't tanky enough, man. 50 million into 70 million into 60 into 95. It's just not enough. Like, they just die so fast. This is an event. These fights are going to feel, I think, real shitty to global players because they're just coming way too late. I don't know when these are coming. None of these fights are super bad. I mean, some of these bosses have nasty gimmicks. Liqueur right here does disable dodge, and then he progressively gets stronger. That's always big. This guy's like Kid Buu. He gets stronger every time he gets hit. Seadra right over here does AoEs. I think his AoEs are just this. He AoEs like 3 times per turn. This guy can stun ya. Moscow has an AoE super attack. You know, I guess you do have to respect that. 1.5 million super to the whole rotation turn 1. I mean, that's definitely a little bit of a challenge. I think Beerus individually is the hardest hitter of all of them. And that's because he has like, you can't tell, but he has a territory, which massively buffs his attack. So I think Beerus is the hardest hitter amongst all these different gods. They nerfed the shit out of Belmod. The original Belmod was cancer, man. He was so annoying when, you know, back in February of 2021 when he was out, but this is not really like challenging. Belmod, it's every time I've gotten to Belmod, I've just slapped him in the face with my dick, pretty much. Not really too much of a threat. And that basically covers kind of like the Tanabata, the rest of the stuff. Because Global did get the Legendary Freeze event mission, so again, it's a lot of stuff kind of like scattered all over. So there's that. And then the rest of the stuff is the Roshi celebration, which is again, the remaining things that Global at the moment does not have. So let's see. So there's this Grand Summer Dokkan Festival. I mean, I don't know that really matters so much. It was a banner. You could do some summons. You get some guaranteed like banner unit type characters. And then there was an awakened character at the end of it. But I mean, that's not, I don't like just losing a couple of things like that just to get the sync on board. I don't think is the biggest deal. But I mean, obviously for the sync, they did mash together way too many banners in, you know, July and August. That was very silly. I mean, okay, so here's the Heroine collection. I mean, we could just quickly take a look at that. Don't summon. If this shows up, don't summon, dude. I like Coquette. Coquette is actually very good for the Universe 11 mission, but don't summon. I saw screenshots. Japanese players were beating that Universe 11 mission with like Tech Jiren and Margarita and shit like that on the team, and just you know, using items like with a friend EGL Jiren. Like, you do not need to summon for Coquette or Topo or AGL Jiren. You can beat it. It's going to be tough, but you can beat the 4 Universe 11 character mission. But Coquette is very good on full Peppy Gal or full Universe 11. Universe 11 is a solid team. I mean, it's definitely not as good as, you know, Uncontrollable Power or something like that, but it's not a terrible team. Then we also have Mai. Mai is quite good. You know, if you're going to use her to support the Dragon Ball Saga category or Peppy Gals. I mean, she's a nice little 60% support unit with some dodge. New named character. I think she's pretty good. And then there are also these 2 EZA characters. Kawaii, I don't really like so much. She's just essentially doing a whole lot of nothing. Not actually nothing, but again, where are you running her? Universal Survival Saga? Right? Like, no way. She's good against, like, Battlefield Metal Cooler, who is going to be around for another 8 months or something like that on Global and JP. Margarita, though, is really helpful for that Goku and Frieza mission. With a lot of dodge, a lot of support, she could be pretty good. And she, you know, supports Realm of Gods, and she supports Bond and Master and Disciple, and Sibling Bond. So a lot of those categories, some of your big hitter Universal Survival Saga characters you might be running, like Tech UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta, to help you get the mission done. Because again, remember, it's only 4 Universe 11 characters, not 6. So you could bring like Tech UI Goku and Evolution Blue Vegeta, and then your 4 Universe 11 characters. So there's that. Then we have Roshi. Roshi's banner. Yeah, I don't know. Do we like, are they just gonna skip this? I mean, it's possible they might just skip the banner and then just, like, when Roshi returns on JP, that's when they drop him on Global. It makes sense, but we'll see if they actually do that. If this banner shows up, obviously you skip it. I mean, Topo is good, but he's not as good as he once was. I mean, we've had a lot of power creep between Tanabata and Worldwide, like at like usual. God, Goku could be effective at like, like these characters, I don't know. The Roshi team, Roshi is good. But Roshi has the same problem as Physical Rose, which is that like Physical Rose's individual performance can be quite good. Roshi, massive supporting, great damage. Like his individual performance is quite good. But using these teams, you will die nonstop. Period. Because the Roshi team and Super Bosses with Rose has like no slot 1 characters. Roshi's team is probably in a little bit of a better spot, but it's all dodge or die. Bunny Bulma, Videl, Tech UI, AGL UI Goku. It's literally all dodge or die characters. Eventually, they're not going to come through. You don't have a Beast Gohan, a Tech Carnival Broly, Cellmax. Well, those characters aren't on this team. Tanks. It's only dodge or die. So I've found Roshi's team to be very annoying. Now, I know what you're thinking, oh, aren't you Mr. Dodge? No. I'm Mr. Build your characters fucking smart. That's what I am. Okay. So there's that. Roshi is really good though. But I mean, he does have kind of like some tough restrictions though. Like, he wants a Bulma on rotation. He wants 2 Turtle School allies on the team. And like a Peppy Gal character too. And a Bulma. Like he's heavily restricted. He's very fun. But I mean, this is an easy skip. Easy skip. I mean, maybe like if Turtle School gets like a, more buffs or something. I don't know. I just think that he's an easy skip. And then we have Bunny Bulma as well. Bunny Bulma is really good for Peppy Gals or an Earthbred Fighter team or Dragon Ball Saga team. But again, she's a huge dodge or die character. I've found her dying a lot, but she can be very, very good as well. All right, so we looked at all that. Yep. All that. Okay. Let's just look at the rest of the stuff here. So we have this banner, which was worthless. I thought that there was a really good chance we could see Int Kid Goku Super Easy A. Did not happen. There's that, normal stuff. This is already on global. We'll end the video talking about this. Battlefield and stuff like that. This Infinite Dragon Ball History stage is definitely not out there. There's Videl. Easy A Videl's pretty good. But I mean, she's kind of like, I would say she's comparable to Kefla, but I mean, Videl is just going to be like dodge or die, right? Like it's going to be yet again, another character that's kind of like in dodge or die territory is kind of what you're going to be expecting with her. She could do a lot of damage. She potentially could buff Buu Saga as well. You could run her on Buu Saga with Carnival Gohan and Tech Ultimate Gohan and EG Ultimate Gohan and EGO Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and it could probably work. I mean, this Videl is not the worst ever. She is effective in slot 3, but it's like, if she's dodging, you're winning. If she's not dodging, well, you're probably in trouble. She's good. Okay, let's head back over to this. There's a burst mode for Videl. Support memory boost stage. Oh, world tournaments are caught up. Patan is caught up. Last thing we have to talk about is the Bulma event. Yeah. Nothing else in here is of any meaning or worth, yeah. That takes us to this. Okay. This is a pretty frustrating event. It really is. It's very challenging, too, because every one of these stages has a mission with Peppy Gals and Roshi. A lot of them, Peppy Gals and Roshi. To say that these fights are designed to annoy the shit out of you is a bit of an understatement. They're very challenging. I just want to point out the Mai fight real quick. So keep in mind, there's a mission to beat this with 4 Peppy Gal characters. Let's just skip to the end, where Mai has an 800 million super attack. AKA, you cannot block that unless you're using AGL Jiren. Like, you literally need 100% damage reduction. If it's not 100% damage reduction, you're dead. Period. And it's a weapon super. We have no weapon super nullification characters. And oh, by the way, she disables dodge. And oh, by the way, you can't stun her or seal her either. So, it's like, I mean, obviously Tech UI Goku could thrash her. I mean, I guess the what they want you to do probably is run Roshi with Tech UI Goku on the team. But, like, this is I found this one to be very annoying. I think my first video fighting this stage, I did all those missions the first run. This was like an hour, because it's just, it's annoying. It's a countdown super attack. I think she supers at the end of her second turn. Might be at the end of her third turn. But, I mean, she has 200 million HP. And 800 million super attack, and she dodge cancels, and she disables stun and sealing. So it's annoying as hell. And then there's this. Now, I am, like, okay calling this the hardest fight in the game. I am. I'm sorry. I'm okay calling this the hardest fight in the game. It's stupid. It's just, it is very frustrating. So, this first phase, she seals, lasts for 2 turns. She seals the entire team. You have to get 12 rainbow orbs in the first 2 turns, or it's game over. That's it. Period. Game over. Literally game over. Then you get to the second phase. And it lasts turns 3, 4, and 5. You can, if you kill her HP pool, you'll move on to the next phase. But she has 90% damage reduction. So you are not likely to kill her before you get a chance to. So you have to go through all 3 of these turns, typically. She lowers your ki by 9. She lowers your ki by 9. Okay. And you have to super attack 4 times on every turn against Imp Bulma, or it's game over. Literally. You must super attack 4 times, or it's game over. So, characters like EGL Broly and Physical Gogeta, 9th Anniversary Broly and Gogeta, are great for this, who are firing off guaranteed additional supers. I found Family Kamehameha Gohan to be one of the more exceptional characters for this, because he permanently builds up ki every time he attacks. He's typically overflowing with ki. But this is a very brutal part. Like, to me, a lot of people hate the Rainbow Orb changing part. I hate this part, because if you have bad additional luck, like I tend to, a lot of game overs happen here. Then, after you get through the gauntlet of annoyance, then she just becomes this is just a normal, pretty weak boss. 1.9 million, this is going to be like turn 6, turn 5, turn 7. She's supering for 1.9 million, that's baby mode with the characters we have nowadays. And you could stun her, you could seal her, you could attack debuff her, you could hit her with all that shit. Alright? Now, what happens here? The final blow you hit her with, if it is very strong, you get the Dark God of the game. If it's a weaker attack, she just goes into this Physical Bulma, who's definitely scary. I mean, she's 3 million supering, so turn 1, and, you know, she's doing, she's doing over 1 million normals, so she's still scary. The thing about both of these, the last phase, though, you can debuff her and shit like that, yeah. But, I mean, this Bulma right here opens up, she opens up with a 4 million super. And then it's a 6 million super on her second turn, when she has her full passive up. But you can stun her and seal her and stuff like that. But, like, dude, the way they talk, people talk about this game, it depends on whatever agenda they're pushing. Do we want to push, you know, that Bulma's, oh my god, the scariest boss ever, we pretend that she can't be stunned and shit. Or if we want to pretend that she's free, we just say, well, you could stun her. Well, yeah, no fucking shit you could stun her, but she still fucking attacks first, dude. She has 180 million HP, right? Like, you're not, even the Family Kamehameha, like, we did some tests. I smacked her with the Family Kamehameha for 140 million HP, but, she still gets to attack. You can get lucky and she doesn't attack right away. But if she supers right away, you still got to deal with a 4 million super attack on, like, turn 8 or 9. So, it's like, she is tough. Now, there are specific characters who could destroy her. STR Jiren, in my opinion, one of the worst characters ever. He could just stun her at the start of turn. Right? AGL Jiren has 100% damage reduction. Broly's Revive can be very effective here. Obviously, like, Cell Max's active can be goated. There's a lot of different things you could do to get around this. But in terms of damage, this is number 1 in terms of the boss's damage. And it's like, if you think you're just going to pop that Beast Gohan active and you're good, no. No, you're not. He can, but a lot of it does rest on like LR Gamma 1's shoulders. If you have LR Gamma 1 out, and then Beast on the opposite rotation, to say Beast gets supercharged is a gross, like, underestimation. Like, Beast plus Gamma 1's 2-turn support he is actually the zenith. Like, you know, like you pop his like, he can live this Beast. I did it. I've got it on video. You look up the video Beast Gohan versus Bulma. We'll just type it in. I have him tank that. Just Beast versus Bulma. Again, I explain this all the time, but I always make sure to title videos very specifically so that they're easy to find. And then we could just skip ahead back here. I think this is it right here. This is Bulma's. We get it. Maybe no. This is it. This is it right here. I think this is it. And then Bulma supers. It's in here. We had Beast tank that shit from Bulma. Active up. Wait, let me look at the comments. Maybe the comments has got it. Wait, what is this? Beast taking 0 damage. Is it bad? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, literally 0. Let me see if I can't find him tanking it real quick. All right, I think this is it right here. Beasterizer. Show it to us. Let's go. Okay. Here it is. Boom. This is, I believe, the 5 million super. I think that's it. No. Look at her HP bar. She's got full HP. God damn it. It's in here somewhere, but I mean, I have Beast tanker like a champ. What is it right here? It happens at some point. Does she super at the end of this turn? I thought I had it in here. I can't find it. Whatever. Beast, though, again, when you have LR Gamma 1 super in like that, he can really handle business, right? All right, so there's that. I guess that covers mostly everything. So we have the entirety. We've got it all. This is all the stuff that Global is missing. Again, I don't know exactly when a lot of this stuff is coming. I hope sooner rather than later. But we'll see. I mean, what I do know is once we get to... I expect all of this stuff, like anything that's missing that Global is going to get, I do think they probably will get in 2024. So, let me know what you guys think. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.